Alright, let's talk about awkward dinners. We've all been there. The tense family holiday where your uncle brings up politics. The first time meeting your partner's parents where you accidentally insult their favorite porcelain cat. These things feel like life or death situations. But they are not. Today, we are opening a case file on a dinner party that was literally a life or death situation. A single meal where the main course was betrayal, the dessert was paranoia, and the after-dinner entertainment was a murder plot disguised as a dance. This is the story of the Feast at Homegate. It's not just a story about a meal, it's the story of a single moment where the entire future of China, the next 400 years of it, was balanced on the tip of a sword. And the outcome was decided not by armies, but by the personalities of two men. It's the ultimate domino effect, a single choice, a single hesitation at the dinner table that toppled an empire before it was even born. Welcome to our channels. We bring you echoes across history. Grab a beer, here we go! First, let's meet our two main guests. The fate of this dinner party rests entirely on their shoulders. On one side, we have Xiang Yu. Think of him as a level 99 barbarian warlord from the video game, born with all the cheat codes enabled. He's an aristocrat, a military prodigy, a titan of a man who can lift a 300-pound cauldron. He's never lost a battle. He's charismatic, terrifying, and utterly dominant. But his code is simple. Problems are solved with overwhelming force. Diplomacy is for people who can lift cauldrons. His personality flaw: he has the political subtlety of a sledgehammer and an ego the size of the Great Wall. On the other side, we have Liu Bang. And Liu Bang is, well, he's the opposite. He's a middle-aged former small-town sheriff from a humble background. He's not a great warrior, he's not a brilliant scholar, but he has two superpowers. First, he's a world-class judge of talent. His team is a collection of geniuses, the ancient world's Avengers. Second, he has zero shame. He will lie, cheat, grovel, and do whatever it takes to survive and win. While Xiang Yu is playing a game of honor, Liu Bang is playing poker, and he's not afraid to bluff with a terrible hand. The situation: the tyrannical Qin Dynasty has just collapsed, leaving a massive power vacuum. Xiang Yu and Liu Bang, once allies, are now the two main contenders for the throne. By all rights, Xiang Yu should win. He has the bigger army, the better reputation. But Liu Bang, through a mix of strategy and cunning, managed to capture the Qin capital city first, a huge symbolic victory. This, to put it mildly, has made Xiang Yu very angry. He has his 400,000-man army parked right outside the city, ready to turn Liu Bang's 100,000 troops into a fine paste. The war is about to start, and Liu Bang is guaranteed to lose. But then, Liu Bang gets an invitation. Xiang Yu's chief advisor, Fan Zeng, has convinced his boss to host a dinner party for Liu Bang. The plan? Get him in a tent and make sure he never leaves. If Liu Bang had chickened out or refused to show up, it would be the perfect justification to wipe out this so-called ally. I mean, it's impossible to lose with that kind of setup. So, Liu Bang, knowing this is a trap wrapped in a formality, does the only thing a master poker player with a bad hand can do. He shows up and raises the stakes. He arrives with a skeleton crew, including his brilliant strategist, Zhang Liang. The dinner begins. The hair is so thick you could cut it with chopsticks. Liu Bang puts on an Oscar-worthy performance of humility. He bows, he apologizes, he sells himself as Xiang Yu's loyal, slightly incompetent little brother. Great Hegemon King, I will never dare to claim the capital. I was merely keeping it safe for you. Dusting the throne, make sure no one left any fingerprints on the furniture. It works. Xiang Yu, whose ego is his Achilles heel, starts to puff up his chest. The raw fury he felt begins to cool. He sees a subordinate, not a rival. But his chief advisor, Fan Zeng, sees something else entirely. The greatest threat to their future sitting just 10 feet away. He's practically vibrating with anxiety. He repeatedly lifts his jade pendant, the prearranged obvious signal to kill him now. Xiang Yu sees the signal. He glances at Fan Zeng, then at Liu Bang, this pathetic, bullying old sheriff, and he hesitated. He couldn't bring himself to give the order. To murder a man who has surrendered at his own banquet table. It's messy, it's dishonorable, it's not how the true conqueror operates. Fan Zeng, watching his perfect plan dissolve in a puddle of his boss's misplaced honor, goes to plan B. He summons Xiang Yu's cousin, Xiang Zhuang. The king is too soft, he hisses. Go in, offer to perform a sword dance. Find your moment, make it look like an accident. The fate of our enterprise depends on it. Xiang Zhuang enters. My lords, to celebrate this historic meeting, I shall perform a sword dance. He draws his sword, and the dance begins. It is not a performance, it is a ballet of assassination. The blade whistles through the air, a silver serpent haunting its prey. Every spin, every launch, every elegant turn is a calculated move, bringing the razor's edge closer and closer to Liu Bang's throat. Liu Bang is trapped, a smile frozen on his face, likely contemplating which of his life choices like him to be in the target in a deadly performance art piece. But just as Xiang Zhuang begins to close in for the kill, another man rises, draws his own sword, and joins the dance. It's Xiang Bo, Xiang Yu's own uncle, but also a man who owes a debt of life to Liu Bang's strategist, Zhang Liang. He positions himself between the assassin and the target, using his own dance to parry and block Xiang Zhuang's lethal advances. The entertainment has now become a tense, silent duel, a dance of death and protection, right in the center of the room. The situation is on the knife's edge. Zhang Liang sees this moment. He slips out of the tent and finds Liu Bang's bodyguard, Fan Kuai, waiting anxiously outside. It's happening, Zhang Liang says. They are going to kill him. Fan Kuai doesn't hesitate. He's not a man for subtlety. He grabs his shield and sword, crushes past the guards who try to stop him, and bursts into the tent like a human battering ram. The party stops. The dance freezes. Every eye is on him. He stands there, armor-clad and furious, and glares directly at Xiang Yu. The king of Qin had the heart of the tiger and the wolf, he bellows. He killed countless people, and yet it was my lord Liu Bang who conquered his capital. But instead of a reward, he gets a death plot at a dinner party. This is the act of a tyrant, not a hegemon king. It's a shocking, suicidal act of defiance, but it's so incredibly brave that it resonates with the one thing Xiang Yu respects: raw courage. Xiang Yu laughs. A true warrior, give him wine. They bring Fan Kuai a gallon of wine, and he drinks it down in one go. Give him meat. They bring him a raw pork shoulder. Fan Kuai puts it on his shield, slices off chunks with his sword, and devours it. It is a primal, savage display that completely hijacks the sophisticated murder plot. In the chaos, Liu Bang leans over to his strategist. I need to use the little boy's room. It is the most famous bathroom break in history. He gets up, walks out of the tent, and disappears into the night, escaping back to his own camp. Zhang Liang stays behind. After a calculated delay, he re-enters the tent and presents the gifts Liu Bang had brought. My lord Liu Bang is, not a great drinker, he says smoothly. He felt unwell and has already returned to camp. He asked me to offer his deepest apologies and these tokens of his respect. The party is over. The prey has escaped. The trap has failed. Fan Zeng, the brilliant strategist, picked up the jade cups Liu Bang left behind and smashed them to the ground with his sword. He looks at Xiang Yu, his voice filled with despair and cold certainty. You foolish boy, you are not fit to make plans with. The one who snatches the empire away from you will surely be Liu Bang. We are all going to be his prisoners now. He saw the future in that moment. The feast at the home gate wasn't just a single failed assassination. It was the strategic turning point of the entire war. Why did Xiang Yu, a man who had slaughtered tens of thousands on the battlefield without blinking, hesitate to kill one man at the dinner table? The answer lies not in the strategy, but in character. Xiang Yu was a warrior, not a politician. He was a prisoner of his own heroic code. In his world, you defeated your enemies on the battlefield, face to face. Assassinating a guest who had humbled himself before you was a tactic for weaker, lesser men. His greatest strength, his immense pride and sense of martial honor, became his single fatal flaw. He saw the rival who was bowing, not the future emperor who was bluffing. Liu Bang, on the other hand, was a survivor. He understood that at the table, honor was a luxury he couldn't afford. His willingness to appear weak, to sacrifice his dignity for the ultimate prize, was his greatest weapon. He knew Xiang Yu's character better than Xiang Yu knew it himself, and he played it like a fiddle. That dinner wasn't a failure of Xiang Yu's military might. It was a failure of his imagination. He couldn't imagine a world where a man like Liu Bang could ever be a true threat, and so he let him walk away. Xiang Yu held the political equivalent of a checkmate in his hands. He had his opponent cornered, disarmed, and outnumbered 4-1. One word from him would have ended the conflict before it began. But he let that moment pass. He lost the strategic initiative, and he would never get it back. His hesitation, born from his warrior pride, condemned him to 4 more years of brutal, grinding warfare. And in those 4 years, the fundamental differences between the two men became clear. Xiang Yu was a peerless battlefield commander, a tactical genius who could win any single battle. But Liu Bang was a superior strategist. While Xiang Yu was chasing battlefield glory, Liu Bang was consolidating territory, winning the hearts of the people, and most importantly, listening to the counsel of his brilliant team. That single, fateful non-decision led directly to his final, tragic defeat at the Battle of Gaisha and his suicide on the banks of the Wu River. The seed of his destruction was not planted on the battlefield, but at the banquet table. And it was Liu Bang, the man who feigned humility and ran away from the dinner party, who united China and became Emperor Gaozu, the founder of the glorious Han Dynasty, an empire that would define China for the next 4 centuries. The feast at the home gate is more than a historical event. It's a timeless drama about human nature. It reminds us that history is not just a grand story of armies and economics, but an intimate story of human choices, driven by ego, fear, pride, and instinct. Xiang Yu stands as one of history's greatest tragic heroes, a man of immense talent who was ultimately undone by his own character. Liu Bang, a far more complex figure, shows that sometimes the survivor who bends is stronger than the hero who breaks. This is a paradox every one of us faces. I'm curious, do you believe it's our strengths or our weaknesses that ultimately define our destiny? Debate it in the comments. Let's untangle this puzzle together. If you enjoy these deep dives into the dilemmas of our power and choice, subscribe and become an angel investor in our channel. It's a chilling question and one worth debating with anyone who loves story with impossible stakes.